Hi, I'm Brad Shores, and this is Tropical Shores Steel Drum Lessons. On today's lesson, we're going to look at the song Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid. Under the Sea, I always call that the national anthem of steel drum songs because anybody who sees you play steel drum is going to say, can you play Under the Sea? And so, not only I'm going to talk about playing the melody to it, of course, I'm going to talk about maybe doing some improvisation on it and adding harmony notes, because that makes you sound a little bit better. So, at the beginning of this, this is from book 1, and I have the melody like this. But if you added some notes, I'm not talking about playing. I'm not talking about adding all of that. I'm talking about starting with 1 or 2 notes. Maybe when you play the high E, you play a G with it, for instance. Instead of going, that's fine, but this is better. Add a G or maybe a C. I tend to play the low G. I like the notes that are 6 notes lower, which are called sixths. I like those better. You notice I add a bunch of them. Now that's come over a bunch of time and motor memory and muscle memory that my hands just go to that. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is start small, add 1 note. And maybe when you get back to C, you add the low E. I added the E with that C, the low E. So those are some things you can do. And the chord changes on here, there's really, there's a couple of chord changes which I'll notate, but the C scale works over this whole song except for 1 chord, which I believe is the D7 chord. So I'll play through the song a little bit and I'll do some improvisation and we'll talk about what I'm doing. So on a lot of this, on the improv part, I just did a lot of chord outlining. Like I did the C chord. I tried to play things that were C chord friendly, like C, E, G. And one time I think I went underneath by half a step. No, sorry. That's really a good play. You go half a step under each note. Under C you go to B, under E you go to E flat. You can also do that on B and D. You go to C sharp and B flat. I think I did that one. But I did some scale work. Went right up to C scale. Then maybe I came down. But I did a lot of outlining. Like on the F chord, did you notice I did the F and A? And then E and G for the C chord. B and D for the G chord. And then maybe C and E. Anytime you outline the chords that are going by, you're always going to sound great. That means you're not going to sound like you're just doing scales all the time. But I also did some quoting of the song. I mean, that always works. I played the melody, but I also played the chords with it. Here's the melody, and then G chord and C chord, C7, F chord, G, C, D7. That D7 chord is the one I was talking about. That's the one that's different. It's D, F sharp, A, C. So do a little bit of each. You could also, I didn't do this, but embellishment is always nice. I did the E flat to E. Another one on this one, another good lick is to do G, A flat, and A. That's always a great Caribbean kind of sounding lick. And also doing a lot of double stops. Did C and E to B and D, C and E to D and B. F chord, G chord, C chord. Now I'm not just playing the C chord like this. I'm doing maybe a little rhythm. I'm playing sort of a Caribbean style comp or rhythm, if you will. So that kind of helps fill up this song a little bit. And the more you do those double stops, I did the melody with single stops, and then I add the double stops. The second time through, I added those, and I'll notate some of that. But I would encourage you just to start with 1 or 2 notes and experiment around and see what notes sound good with other notes. But you'll find that C, E, and G sound good together a lot. F, A, and C sound good. Why? Because that's the chord that they're outlining. Those notes can go really well together. So. A good song to know. I encourage you to learn this one and play it whenever you can, because everybody will want to hear it. In fact, I played it last night, and 3 people asked me to play it at the same gig. So it's a really good song to know. Well, that's it for this time. I want to thank you for watching and the comments on the videos. Please subscribe to the videos so you see them when they come out. And also, please visit panland.ning.com, which is a social network for steel drum players. There's pictures and videos and just communication with people all over the world. If you need music or you're looking for tracks or things like that, please go to tropicalshores.net. I'm always updating the site and adding songs, and hopefully you'll find something that you like. That's it for this time. Thanks a lot.